Hey, how you guys doing? Back again with another episode of The It Factor. And I'm Jeremy Robinson, your host, as always. And today we have somebody special. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, my name is Leah Hernandez, the founder and CEO of Young Authors Publishing. Happy to be here.
That's amazing. So first off, man, how are you doing? During this time of the pandemic or just in general, or on this Monday, how are you doing?
Right, okay. I'm doing well. I am healthy. My family is healthy, and so I have no complaints.
Got you. That's good, man. I'm glad to see you, man. After I think it's been about what, like 2, 3 years since I've seen you, like in person.
Listen, okay. I remember the AUCC building. I think I was interning out of there, and you were working on your engineering degree. Am I getting that right?
Mhm. Yeah,
Yep. Good
yeah,
times.
man,
Good
it was good.
times.
And then graduation, I think that was the last time I saw you, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I've been having my head down, just trying to get the work done.
yeah, man, that's amazing. So that's the one reason why I wanted to reach out to you to bring you on the show. So one of my first question would be, what went into you choosing Clark Atlanta University, to go to get your degree, of course.
Say what made me want to go to Clark Atlanta?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a great question. I actually didn't want to leave California, which is where I was born and raised, for a very long time. But one of my childhood friends was going to Clark. She reached out. We went to the Black College Expo in LA. And I remember looking at all the Black people and the CAU representatives, and I was like, I gotta go. I gotta be there. And Clark was actually the only school that accepted me. So I really didn't have much of a choice.
Mhm.
I was like,
Yeah,
well, this is where we're going.
that's inevitable that you had to go then. There's all.
It was. It was. It was meant to be.
So in there, man, tell me how now, now that you graduated, how has the day to day been, running your business and things of that nature? How did that go, that process go for you?
Yeah. I mean, transparently, that those first 2 years, that first year really was really, really rough.
Mhm.
Just because we didn't have the funding to be able to pay myself, to be able to pay team members. And so it was really, it was really just a one woman show, just trying to figure it out until I felt confident that I can start paying people to bring people on. But after that year, it got a little bit easier. I think the hardest part for me was just trying to figure out like how I would be financially stable and okay with my business not paying me. But I started some side businesses, and was able to just be really, really smart about my finances, about my expenses, making sure that they were down, so that way I could have the flexibility and freedom to be able to devote my time to Yap.
Got you, man. So tell me how your day to day look now for you. Now being CEO. First off, congratulations. You're CEO of your company. Things of that nature. But like, just
Thank you.
how did it feel? Being so young, and how do your day to day as a CEO operate? How would that look?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it depends on the season, but typically, day to day for me is I would say about 50% of my time now is communicating with my team to be able to make sure that they have everything that they need, so that way they can go continue to execute the business. But right now, a lot of my time is, approving things, responding to emails, trying to build more partnerships globally has been a big priority for me. And I would say sales. Sales is my number one thing right now that I'm focused on. So either talking to bookstores or libraries, um, or different companies to talk about like licensing, foreign rights, and things like that.
Man, that's awesome, man. I'm so proud of you, man. That's amazing. Cause
Thank you.
I be wondering. I'll be like seeing you post stuff. I'll be like, look at Leah, man. She out here doing it. But
I'm
yeah,
trying. Okay.
it's one step at a time, man. So, like in that, how important is it for our people and people in general to tell their stories? Through authoring. Me being an author. Yourself being an author, and our peers and friends. How important is that?
That is such a good question. And I'm actually working on a project that literally, like, the project is that thesis. I can't say too much now, but it's, man, it's so vital that we tell our stories. One, because so many people historically have already told our stories on our behalf, which was wrong. And so it's a lot of false information about our people, who we are, and what we represent, that's, being pushed out there. And so that's the number one thing. But then secondly, I think it's important that we start controlling our own narrative. And the way that we do that is through telling our stories. And of course, there are a lot of barriers to entry in all media, whether it's print and publishing, whether it's digital, TV and film. But I think that we just have to continue to find solutions to move beyond that and tell the stories anyway. Because history shows us that if we don't figure it out, if we don't, get a hang of telling our own stories, and people are just going to continue telling them for us.
You right about that. You right about that. So in that, what's your story, man? What is your it factor, man? Why you do what you do?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. I I do what I do because I hope that someone would have done this for me at my age. I was a kid who was really interested in writing, wasn't really too big on writing or publishing. I didn't even know that that world existed, let alone for people who look like me. But the part about the business that we do that I'm most proud of is the access to capital that we offer our authors through their royalties and through their book sales. And so that's important to me because it's like, a girl coming from Pomona, California, a low income community who was just, trying to scrap her, change to get to college, make it through college, having some type of, savings account, some type of wealth that I could access to would have been really helpful. And I realized that that's not just the case for me. It's the case for a lot of Black and brown young people. In this country, wealth isn't created just by the time you go to college, get a good job, and you're off in the space. That's the impression that I thought. But once I started getting around, our counterparts, I was like, oh, y'all been had this. When y'all was like 5 years old, you just have money sitting on top of money. Okay. Okay. And so, when you ask me about my it factor, I think that's something that wakes me up every morning, that pushes me and, will keep me going until I reach that goal, feeling like we're serving enough students and we're not only helping them to be able to share their story, but we're empowering them financially so that way they can continue telling their stories and continue doing the things that they want to do moving forward.
Right, man. I respect you for that because of the fact, like, I feel like it's a needed thing. I was the same kid, like, I can write my butt off, but I was like, can you publish a book? Like, I didn't know anything about it.
Nobody knew because the publishing industry is like, it's like a super secret, like the library is, how like when you walk in, you can't say nothing, like you gotta
Right.
be quiet.
That's how it
That's
is.
how the publishing industry is. Like
Yeah.
nobody really is just out here telling you that you can publish a book. No one's talking about the traditional publishing aspect, how you can get in. Like it's very like not, it's just not taught to us. And then I think at the college and collegiate level, we're not being recruited. So, we can think back to the career fairs, which I'm pretty sure you were at every single one, every single year, as was I, and ask us if there was any book publishers at those career fairs
Mm.
or distribution companies or literary agencies or anybody or any, aspect of business that has to do with publishing. They're not even recruiting us. And so it's, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but it's
Yeah,
crazy.
I follow you in that because it's like an open topic when I think about it. When I was writing down the question, I was like, I think about when I wrote my book, right? And I finished it and I published, and I was up in Boston before I came back to Clark, and I was doing school up there at Northeastern. And I was like, man, I'm pick this book out. I told some of my frat brothers, told them, they're like, yeah, you should do this, you should do that. Yeah, put it out on Amazon. I'm like, all right, cool. But I'm like, if a person came to me at the career fair back when I was at Clark, it would have been beautiful for them to be like, hey, come here, man. Okay, you got a book. All right, this is what you do. This is how you do it. We're gonna get your sales out. We're gonna help you out. We're gonna edit it, stuff like that. That would have made me be like, wow, I probably would have sold more copies. My book probably would have been in Barnes and Nobles. Now, me writing my second book, now tailoring back to it. Of course, I know those things now. We have things like
Yeah.
Sparks, but you have to do your research. But having a person like yourself too, I'd have called you before, like, hey, Leah, man, I got these questions. This is what I'm trying to do. All right,
Listen, because we got to help each other. When I published Try God, which is the book that I wrote and published my sophomore year of college, when I say I Googled how to write a book, how to publish a book every single day, like I was just researching because I didn't know anybody or didn't have access to anyone who had done it before.
Right.
So, it's really important that not only as we learn this information, that we're passing it back down to people and that we're, lifting as we're climbing. So.
Right about that. You're right about it. So with that, what is one of your ultimate life goals? It can be either be career or just life in general, family, anything.
That's a really good question. And then you broaden it to like family and other things. And I'm like, okay, what is it? My a goal for me right now, I'll divide them. A
Mm,
business goal for me right now is for Yap to be a global, well-known publishing house.
mm,
So I really want us to be the global publisher where young Black and Brown people go to publish their book, and that we're selling their book at a high level, and that they're earning money, not just money from actual book sales, money from foreign rights, money from TV and book film adaptations, all the things. So that's my business goal. That's what I'm focused on right now. Personally, my goal right now is just to be mentally, spiritually, and physically well and healthy. That's my goal.
yeah,
And for that to be the case for my family and the people that I know and love.
man, I love that, man. That's amazing. That's a real genuine, man, straight to the point. Like, and the way that's gonna happen, it's gonna be so beautiful. The way it's gonna happen, being set up for it.
Thank you.
Yeah, and also it leads to my question of this. So Young's Author Publishing. Name your company, man. Tell me how we get in touch with you. What you need from me. What you need from the people that will be watching this.
Yeah, yeah. So Young Authors Publishing, you can go to our website at youngauthorspublishing.org. You can follow us on all social platforms at Young Authors Publishing. What we need right now, so if you are a young person, if you're in middle school, if you're in high school, even if you're in college, we're getting ready to launch another imprint specifically for college students. And if you have a story, please send your manuscripts to us. You can do it on our website, or you can send it to our managing editor at Nautica at youngauthorspublishing.org. That's the first ask I have for you guys. If you have support stories, submit them with us. Secondly, I would say buy our books. Go to our website, go to Amazon. Our books are distributed and sold globally. They're sold on all book selling platforms. So you don't have to come to our website. You can go to your favorite bookseller and just, take a look at our catalog and buy books for the kids that you know and love in your life.
That's
And know that money is going back to these kids. Okay. So thank you.
I'm definitely gonna make sure I do that because I got me and two of my sorors that we make sure that we go out every Christmas and like we raised over like $3,000 worth of books, but half those books should have been your books. So
Dope.
I'm definitely gonna make sure that this time Christmas round, I'm gonna reach out to you like, hey, look,
Listen.
website is what? All right, and I got the show now, so I'm like, all right, let me go back to you
Okay.
and I'm gonna make it happen. So
Thank you. And I'm gonna follow up with you too. I'm gonna be like, all right, October. I know y'all gearing up for Christmas. You gearing up for the holiday season. What you need?
right,
Yeah, we have 36 books that we've published so far.
man, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Thank you.
And do you have any questions for me?
What questions do I have for you? What are you up to these days? What's new on your end? How can I help and support you?
You can support me, by going to the YouTube channel, of course, leaving comments, things of that nature, like follow me on IG. Some of the things that I put out, I try to like put out like not controversial things, but like good positive messages onto my Instagram. Sometimes speaking about certain things, need to be in the sports arena, need to be in the education arena, or even life with family, things like that. And the best way I say support is just keep watching the show and spreading the word about me, man. Especially when our episode come out, because of the fact like that's the way we help each other. That's
Right.
that's the way we keep changing the narrative. That's one of my big statements for the show. So with that, that's all. That's all you can do, man.
All right. Well, I got you. I appreciate that. Now I know how to help. You got to give people action items. You got to let people know how they can help you and where they can help you, so that way we can get the help that we need.
Got you guys. So in that, that's pretty much the show.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure being here.
All right. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.